You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney theme parks podcast, and this is show number 278 for Sunday the 22nd of September 2019.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my good friend Jayne Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Hello there, Jayne.
Hello there, Michelle, and how are you, my darling?
I'm doing good, my lovely. How about you?
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. I've got a bit of a nice little adventure this afternoon. I'm doing some life drawing today.
Ooh, get you, Mrs. Fancy Pants.
Yeah, I know. It won't be very good, but, you know, it kills a few hours, gives me something different to do.
Hey, honey, you're having a go and you're improving each time. That's all.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to try something new.
And unfortunately, when you are sitting next to Mr. Simon Phipps,
yeah,
anything by anybody will look pants.
Yeah, well, it is a bit funny because he gets his digital drawing tablet out and looks all fancy pants, and I have a sketch pad, a little mechanical pencil, and a eraser, and that's it. It's like old school versus new school.
Doesn't matter. You're having a go, and main thing is, do you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, it's a good vibe because it's a burlesque themed life drawing class, so it's kind of right up our street. You get a little bit of burlesque entertainment, have a drink, and do some drawing on a Sunday afternoon. What's not to like about that?
A little bit of a Sunday afternoon titillation and artistry.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. Well, I've got, after this week having one of my daughters over to go and see Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, I've got the other one this weekend. It's like I'm running a B&B.
Like a revolving door.
I know. So she's over, so we're going to go over later today and go see my dad, check that he's okay. He's bearing up. He's not great, but he's plodding on. He's doing okay. He's readapting to having a proper celiac diet. So,
nice.
You know, he's eating the right things now and he's not losing any more weight.
Which is positive.
He's got to 8 stone 5, which isn't great for somebody who's 5'10", but he's gained a little, so that's a really positive sign. So we're hopeful.
Yay.
Now, let's move on and have a little bit of a news chat. And I think the topic I'm going to bring was something I posted on the family page this week, which was about the new Tomorrowland sign. Do you like it?
Actually, I do, because I quite like the fact that it's very minimalistic in vibe, and it's got, I don't know, there's something about it that says Incredibles to me as well.
Ooh.
Don't know why. I think it's that sort of, it's kind of reminds me of, you know, when you saw like the Jetsons, you know, like that 1960s, 70s view of the future. It's that kind of vibe to me, and I quite like that because it's kind of makes it a bit more timeless, because sometimes trying to predict something to look futuristic doesn't last for very long. Does that make sense? So yeah, I quite like it.
I love it. But immediately what struck me was how similar it looks to the building at LAX. You know, the flying saucer with its 4 legs.
Yeah. But then again, is it because it's an iconic design for something futuristic, therefore you're going to see it repeated? I don't know.
True. I think it fits brilliantly with Tomorrowland. It sets the scene. I love the fact it lights up at night. It looks stunning.
Yeah, classy.
Yeah. Talking of classy though, Jay. Photography.
A topic close to my heart, as my daughter is pursuing her photography career as we speak.
So we value having a live photographer to take our pictures.
Yes.
The ultimate thing for me this holiday was meeting Mickey and Minnie and having my pictures taken with them, particularly at the iconic Town Square Theatre in the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, classic place to have it done. Absolutely.
It's now an automatic camera box. And I've seen some horrendous pictures that people have been posting on social media of their so-called loved ones meet and greets, out of focus, nobody looking at them, nobody's even posing even.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's a cast member still there, but you obviously haven't got the photographer.
Well, you know why there's a cast member still there.
To move you along.
Yeah, to move you along and make sure you don't steal any of the equipment.
Yeah. It just feels very impersonal to me.
Yeah. It's just losing a little layer of magic.
Well, the thing is, if you've got a good photographer, and I'm not saying that all of them are brilliant, you're always going to get, some that are better than others. But the beauty of having a real person there taking your photo, surely, is if they're doing it for their living, they're going to catch all those moments that aren't necessarily the posed moments, but, if they're clicking away, they're going to get some candid shots as well as the posed shots, and they're going to do that thing where they're going to make sure you're all looking in the right direction at the same time. But you're not going to get that from an automated machine, are you? You might as well go and find a photo booth somewhere and get some done.
Well, it seems to me it's the season for everything to be culled in the Magic Kingdom and across Walt Disney World, because there's some rumours.
Yeah, over at Magic Kingdom, the Muppets, which I've never seen, which really sucks for me. It sounds like everything on social media is kind of indicating that these are going to be disappearing as of October the 1st. There is a lot of talk about the fiscal year ends on October the 1st, so these cuts aren't yet official. But yeah, it's kind of sounding like Muppets Presents is going to come to an end. Plus, they're going to reduce Move It, Shake It, Dance, Play It, Street Party down to 2 shows a day. They're losing some shows over at Hollywood Studios and at Animal Kingdom as well. So,
can I just say, Boudicca. I am gutted. I love going to listen to them. It really sets that Harambe market scene as you're wandering through. They really get a vibe going.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, because I did read one piece where it was saying, sometimes these cuts happen at the end of the fiscal year. You've then got the holiday season happening, and then what you tend to find is you get into the new year and either these things are reinstated or new things are brought in. So whether that's the plan or not, I don't know. But you do tend to feel a little bit cynical, but when things like Star Wars, you think isn't having as bigger effect as what they perhaps hoped, you do start to question whether some of these things are happening because they're having to claw money back somewhere or other. I don't know.
I think the thing is at the moment with regards to the whole Star Wars thing is the prices to go to Walt Disney World or Disneyland are so high that people are just thinking, well, I'll wait for the whole experience. There's so many things happening in Walt Disney World at the moment with construction everywhere, and the prices are so high. Families are thinking, no, I'll take an extra year or 2 years to save my money to be able to go when everything is done. And the number of people that are communicating me via the show and saying that is unreal.
I absolutely agree. And I think at the end of the day, especially if you're travelling from abroad, and if from Europe or Australia or wherever to go to Disney World or Disneyland for that matter, it costs an awful lot of money. And you've got to take into consideration what's open, what isn't open, what's in construction, because the last thing you want to do is spend thousands and get there and find that half of what you want to see isn't there, or it's only half complete, or whatever it may well be. So it is a biggie, and people, fortunately, we have to be careful with our money and spend it wisely.
Yeah. Right, I think that's it for news. Let's move on and have our first feature, and this is going to be my review of Storybook Dining at Artist's Point at the Wilderness Lodge.
Ooh, I'm curious as to see how this went, Michelle.
So we all know this was the biggie for me. As a Snow White fan, I was so excited. Really was. I think I made 3 different ADRs 180 days out for this place because I wanted to ensure that it fitted in and flowed with the holiday properly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I didn't know which date would work the best for me. So as it got closer and I had my plans all fitted out with all the fast passes working round, at about 55 days I cancelled off the ones I didn't need.
Yeah.
So it turned out that we were both going to go, just Tom and myself, and have the meal. We had booked a 6:30 reservation, and we kind of thought, well, that'd work wonderful because we can then go over to the Magic Kingdom and see the fireworks over there.
Yeah.
So we goes to the Artist Point restaurant, which is in the Wilderness Lodge, and to the side of us, they had a little mini art gallery. Really, it set the scene because there was some little carvings of the 7 dwarfs and a lovely picture of the evil queen. And I know that they're not permanent because one night, a different night in the holiday, I saw them taking them away. So it just goes to show that they were just purposely there for the event, for the meal.
Yeah.
If you want to take a look at the pictures, I'm going to pop them on our blog, and you can get more details about the experience and see some pictures of the meals over at disneydreamgirls.com, and that'll go live on Sunday as well.
Yeah.
We're meted and greeted as we got to the podium, and they basically said, oh, your table is ready, we'd like to escort you in. And they were greeting and they were chatting, and as we were walking through the restaurant, it was really beautiful because there was some subtly done trees to make it appear that we were in a woodland setting. And they had little red twinkling and they changed colours. As we were walking through to the left, there was a big backdrop for the evil queen, for her to have her meet and greet. And we were sat on a little table of 2 in the, not quite the corner, but towards the side of the restaurant.
Yeah. Happy with that?
Yeah, it was an okay position. We were greeted on our table with a red napkin, and it had a pre-signed, autographed red apple card. And that was cute.
Yeah.
It was really nice to get that because whilst some of the characters may have signed things for you, they sort of try and discourage it by giving you this.
Okay.
Underneath the said napkin was the menu, and it was like a leather-bound book that you had to slip a little bit of leather out from to open it up. So it really set the scene fantastically.
Very thematic.
It was. And the first page had a little bit of a story for you.
Oh.
I know. Can I put on my storyteller voice?
Once upon a time.
In a world long, long ago. Right, it does actually start like that. Long ago, in a forest enchanted, the seeds of the story we tell had been planted. They grew from the soil, this place that stands here, where someone like you might be wandering near. With creatures and critters, both friendly and foe, princess, a queen, and some friends you might know. We've got merriment, music, and feasting to do, and a place at the table that's set just for you. So gather round, take a seat, settle in, your dinner adventure's about to begin.
Oh, that's cute.
It was lovely. And then the next page, you've got a choice of some wickedly refreshing cocktails.
Ooh.
Now, we didn't partake in any, but we did see around us other people having the most amazingly decadent cocktails brought to them. There was a smoking mirror one, which I think the table next to us had, and it was in a brandy glass, and it had a lovely smoke effect.
Oh, classy, yeah.
Which looked brilliant. Another one of my favourites that I saw was a non-alcoholic one, and it looked so cool. It was called the Transformation Potion, and it started as a simple lemonade, and then you pour in this blue potion and stir it with this sugary stirring stick, and it turns blue.
Ooh.
So lots of things like that, which I thought was a really nice effect, especially for the children who might want to partake in one of these at an additional price.
Right. So these were additional on top. Okay.
Yeah, but, at the end of the day, the price point, you might want to just spend a little bit more. So after the cocktails, you then get to select your main course because your starters are shared appetisers.
Oh, right. Okay, so that's set then, yeah.
At this point, we went no further.
Okay.
Tom's got a shellfish allergy, and as part of the starter, there's a wicked shrimp cocktail, which he couldn't have.
Ah,
So the chef
okay.
came over and said, no worries, I'll put something together for you. It will be served completely separate.
Oh, well, that's nice then.
If you have a look on the website, you'll see the image of this little tree with 3 staggered leaves, which the meal of the starter and dessert were placed onto, with each leaf having a different appetizer or dessert.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
So for me, I got a mushroom bisque, which was very creamy and nice, and it had one of those longer mushrooms, and it had been lightly battered, and it looked like a gnarled finger in this cauldron. It was amazing. It looked so cute. This actually replaced the winter squash bisque that had the marshmallow lollipop that was there at opening of this a few months back when it started.
Right.
Then we had a hunter's terrine, which was a circular disc about 1/2 centimetre, 3/4 centimetre deep, and it had black truffle. On the side, it had a stone fruit preserve and some house-made pickles.
Mm-hmm.
And then the wicked prawn cocktail. Well, for me, it was a little plate. Normally, everyone around us was getting a glass sort of jar, but because there was only one of us, just i.e.
Okay.
me, the portion sizing was slightly different, and to be quite honest, it looked a bit pitiful because there was one king prawn on a plate.
Ah.
And a few dots of things and a bit of greenery.
Yeah, right.
So it didn't look very appetising, to be honest, because there was like, where's my food? Can't see it. But you did have a trio.
So they were just bites then, weren't they? Just tastes.
Yeah. I think the mushroom soup and the shrimp cocktail I did really enjoy. The hunter's terrine used to be like a little puff pastry pie, but now it's this cold thing, and it just lacked pizzazz. It just wasn't very tasty. Obviously, it's there because it can be made in advance, made bulk. Everything came out cold apart from the soup.
Right.
In place of the prawn cocktail, Tom got a spring vegetable roll that was in a pastry, like that clear pastry that's soft but not crunchy.
Yes, yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
And his was brought straight to his table. So if you have a look at the pictures, you'll understand what I mean, that his came on one big oval plate, whereas mine was on that sort of spectacular thing.
Tree thing, yes. Got you.
Yeah. Are we good with that?
Yes.
So we did have to choose a main, and there was quite a choice, to be quite honest, a little bit of something for everybody. There was a cottage beef stew, a royal prime rib roast, a stroll through nature, which basically was gnocchi.
Okay, veggie one.
Yeah. Brothers Grimm roasted chicken, a magic mirror slow braised pork shank, Bashful's butter poached sustainable fish, and the sorcerer's spell of land and sea, which was barbecued pork with clams and noodles and a spring onion chimichurri.
Right.
So a really good choice there, I felt.
Varied, yeah. So what did you guys go for?
I went for the prime royal rib. And
nice choice.
This came served with a horseradish mashed potato, carrots, something they called a popover, which is a Yorkshire pudding, and a gravy.
Yeah.
Which they ponsily called a Jew. Now, the piece of prime rib was incredibly substantial. It was really big. Beautiful mash. Carrots were done nicely. Served in half. So it was like a really big chunk of carrot. But I'm from Yorkshire.
You know how to do a Yorkshire pudding, don't you?
They should be light and crispy. But when I pulled open the Yorkshire pudding, it was thick and doughy. So not one for me.
No.
But the rest of it was really good, to be honest. Tom went with the slow braised pork shank. And that was, wow. It literally melted off the bone. It was delicious. We both felt that the quantity of food on the plate was sufficient. It was very filling. Yeah. Especially for me, because I gave Tom all my mashed potato. And the piece of meat was enough to sustain me.
Right.
Really good. Then it came to the desserts. Now, the desserts are served as a trio, so you don't get a choice, you get what you're given.
Yeah.
And they were called Sweet Ending Shared Desserts. So we had the Miner's Treasure, which was a layer of in a clear glass of sponge cake, chocolate gems, and what they called a berry panna cotta, but it was more like a thick mousse. They had served warm a fairy tale gooseberry pie, which was topped with meringue and gooseberry underneath. And then they had a little tiny dark chocolate apple mousse with a sour centre called the poison apple. Those trios, the Miner's Treasures, was so incredibly sweet, I nearly went into a diabetic coma.
Well, they must have been rather sweet then, Michelle, to turn you into a food coma.
I didn't eat it.
Not at all?
No, I had a couple of bites and I gave it to Tom, and then he said he wouldn't eat it.
Wow.
I did like the gooseberry pie, but it wasn't a pie in my book, because a pie is pastry.
Yeah.
This
what was this then?
Fruit on the bottom with meringue on the top.
See, when you said what it was, I thought it was going to be like a lemon meringue pie, but with gooseberry rather than lemon.
But it was no pastry.
Well, that's not a pie then.
No, exactly.
Okay.
The star for me out of the three was the poison apple, but put all three together and it was just like half a pound of sugar.
Right, okay.
It was just too much.
Yeah.
However, they then came with a little bit of theatre for us of this treasure box, and it was the hunter's gift to the Queen, where they opened it up and there was lots of billowing smoke, and they put on our plate some cracked maple popcorn and a little ganache chocolate hearts.
Right.
So I got a couple of hearts and about 10 pieces of popcorn.
Right.
If I would have eaten the popcorn, I wouldn't have been going to the Magic Kingdom next. I would have been going to the dentist.
Oh, was it a little bit crunchy?
Yeah, and so sweet.
Well, I must admit, I'm looking at, because you very kindly sent me the photos before, and I must admit, looking at it, it does look like, it does look that way, and I'm only looking at a photo of it.
But it's not even pretty, is it?
No, not really. Just it looks a little bit thrown down on the plate.
Yeah. Admittedly, looking at the desserts as a trio, they look stunning.
Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah, very pretty.
Yeah.
And little tastes.
Yeah.
But,
But just, no. Give me one good dessert rather than 3 rubbish ones.
That's not a nice end to the meal then, is it? Especially when you've enjoyed your main course so much.
Yeah, true. Now, obviously, during the meal, you had the chance to meet 3 characters. Snow White, Grumpy, and Dopey.
Okay.
We got to meet Snow White first, and no word of a lie, she was in and out within 25 seconds. And to be honest, I got awful pictures.
Really?
Yeah, I think Tom took a couple of pictures. We couldn't even get a picture with her together.
Oh, that's not good.
Which was really disappointing. You know, I was dressed all as Snow White. I had my new Snow White ears. And it was really rubbish.
Oh, you'd have thought, especially, as you've cosplayed or whatever, Disney bounded like that, you'd have thought that would have been a talking point. It would have been a bit of a recognised, Snow White's her favourite, therefore do a little bit extra, blah, blah, blah type of thing.
No.
Was it overly busy?
Most tables had people sat there, and Snow White wasn't out the whole time. She'd come, wander round everybody she hadn't seen, and then go. You did not get a chance to see her again, because I tried.
Oh, okay.
We had Dopey. Dopey spent about a minute, but it was a quality minute. We had lots of different poses with him. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
But again, don't expect to get pictures together, because there's nobody to take a picture.
Oh, right. So there's no Disney photographers in there at all then?
Not for Snow White, Dopey and Grumpy.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. Grumpy was great with Tom. He really was. And I'll share the picture on our website, as I said. Really, really good. At the end of the meal, you were then invited to go and see the Queen.
Oh, okay. What was she like?
Well, The Queen, obviously, in the Imagineer's mind, when they came up with this, was obviously going to be the star attraction. Not Snow White, not the dwarfs, even though you cannot meet Snow White and all the dwarfs anywhere unless it's a Christmas or Halloween party.
Green party. Yeah. Yeah.
But they made the evil Queen the focus, her own backdrop, and her own photo pass photographer.
Okay.
She came out about every 30 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
Did everybody who was leaving and then left.
Right.
We got our bill,
Yeah.
paid our bill,
Yeah.
and went to join the little line of about 2-3 people.
Yeah.
There was someone being a real diva in front of us. It was so funny to watch. And you did get a really good meet with her. We both got pictures together of her looking very sour. She had some very cutting comments for me because I put my handbag, which was my poison apple handbag, down on the chair, and she just turned to me. Well, in my mind, you've just put the best part of that outfit down on the chair.
That's cute.
She was brilliant. She was there, and she said, "What do you think you've come as?" You know,
That's what you want when you've gone to the bother of doing something. You want that little bit of extra stuff, don't you? You know.
yeah, she was good. She had some really snappy retorts for us. I said,
Yeah.
I'm here as a friend of Snow White. And she said, well, there's only one place for you, the scullery. Go and do some cleaning. So she was brilliant, totally in character, a really, really good representation. We got lovely pictures together via PhotoPass and our own camera.
Cool.
Now, I said there was 2 or 3 people in the line in front of us. Okay? By the time we got to the front of that line, we looked back at our table. Not only had they cleared, cleaned, they had reset another family and they were already drinking their alcoholic beverages.
Wow. Get them in, get them out.
Absolutely. That was a little bit of a down point for me. It really did sort of sour things because we were just like shoved out.
I'm going to say a bit of a conveyor belt feeling.
Yeah. Hey ho, que sera.
So with all that you've said then, Michelle, and obviously Snow White not being the centre of attention, which I'm guessing for you would have been what you'd have preferred perhaps, was it actually worthwhile doing? Was it worth the money that you spent?
Well, let's just think about it. Price point. The main was, in my mind, a good $30 worth of a Disney main.
Okay,
Easily, $30 to $35. I can imagine seeing that on a menu at Disney and not batting an eyelid.
I'm quite happy with that, yeah.
Admittedly, I've been other places in America and paid $20 for it, but it wasn't in a Disney theme park.
And you know, we all know you're Disney bound, therefore you're going to pay that bit extra.
Yeah, so the starter and dessert appetizer plate, I would imagine a good price point for that was about $15.
Right.
The same around with the dessert. So when you add all that in, yeah, it kind of does make the price point.
Yeah.
You know, it does seem valued because it was $55 per person.
Okay. So food-wise, it's kind of levelling out, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, you get the meet and greets, yeah. You know, it worked out $117.15. Then we had a tip on top of that because obviously there was a little bit of sales tax. So if you're working at what? The standard tip for that is going to be about $22 on top.
Something like that, yeah.
So around about $140, which works out at $70 per person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, it probably was about right. I wouldn't pay much more.
No. Is it something you do again, though, Michelle?
No.
No, okay.
Not unless they changed the menu, because the starter and dessert really did let it down. Visually stunning, but on the taste, no.
No, okay.
So,
And what about the actual? Because obviously, not getting that chance to have photo taken jointly with Snow White, would that put you off going again? Would you prefer to see Snow White as the main?
Well, for me,
and greet?
it would be nice if we had a set piece of Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs.
Yeah.
And forget the evil queen. Because that, in my mind, I would have then paid a little bit more to get that set character picture. And I think that would be a lot better draw for a lot of people.
It'd be a big selling point, wouldn't it? Because anybody that's into the character meets and greets knows how rare that opportunity
Yeah.
is.
I would quite
So,
happily then bung up to $85 just because
yeah,
I know it's a rare photo opportunity to get.
yeah.
But some feedback there from me. I did enjoy the evening on the whole. So, it was an interesting one. I was in the restaurant for just over an hour.
Wow, that's quick though, isn't it?
Very quick. They've got to turn those tables because it's a very popular location because people want to go and meet Snow White, a couple of dwarfs, and the Evil Queen.
This is very true. So, yeah, you have to accept that it's going to be a bit of a dash in and dash out job.
Yeah, and another point, I hate having character pictures with people in the background with mouths full of food.
Yeah, not the most classy of looks, is it?
No, absolutely hate it above all else. So that's my little review.
Cool.
So lovely.
Mm.
Our Patreons this week got treated to some big news.
Did they now?
They did indeed. Tom and I did another episode of Planning Our Way to the Magic, but this was the 2020 edition, show number 1.
So, where are you going to share then what you're doing?
I'm going to give some brief details now. I've got it all. It's starting to get padded out. We all know I booked the Alaska cruise.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's down on the Disney Wonder, sorted. We needed to sort out some air flights. And they were tad expensive.
So where are you flying to?
Well, we looked at it and we thought about it. To get to Vancouver direct was going to be ridiculous. And we sort of thought, well, spending about £1,000 each, about $1,200 just to go on a week-long cruise. Let's spend a bit more time in the United States because it's such a hard thing to justify that amount for a week.
Yeah, it is a little bit OTT in it.
So we thought we'd fly into LAX.
Right.
Have a week in Disneyland.
Because
we've not been to Disneyland since, 2017 for Christmas, I believe it was.
Right, yeah.
So we thought, okay, we'll do Disneyland for a week. We have yet to book an internal flight up to Vancouver yet. They're not due out for another week.
Okay.
We have provisionally booked a stay at the Best Western Stovall's Inn. I've stayed there for a night before and I know it's okay. Tom will get his free breakfast and it's a nice walk. Different walk from what I normally do, but it's about a 5-10 minute walk.
That's fine, yeah.
Yeah. Gonna go on the cruise.
Yeah.
Got a night the night before the cruise because we thought, well, we don't want to land on the day the cruise goes.
No.
So we thought we'd fly in the day before, hopefully get some time that day in Vancouver to explore.
Yeah.
And then after the cruise, we're going to go back down to Disneyland and have a couple of nights staying in the Anaheim area, but not necessarily going in the theme park.
Oh, okay. Just a little bit of LA touristy bit.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know, we might even get over and see a bit of Potter. You never know. So that's the old big trip plan sorted.
Wowzers. Save those pennies starts now then.
Oh, I know. I went through a budget to work out how much money I've got to save each month. And it was like, do we need this? No, let's cut that. How much can we get away with each week on shopping? Yep, that's the budget. How much spending money for the month can I have? Yep, that's the budget.
Yeah.
So,
it has to be done though if you're going to do these things.
Well, it is,
Gotta plan it out.
unfortunately. There's one big event that I've got between now and the cruise that was already kind of booked, so I can't really sort of change that, and that's meeting you guys next month to go to some burlesque, because I've missed the last two.
I know, but we get to do it again, that's fine. We'll have a bit of a laugh, won't we?
We will indeed. So, yeah, so I suppose I better let you get off and do your little bit of drawing, and I'm going to get myself ready to go over to my dad's.
Yeah.
If you want to catch up with all the pictures and extra information, it's disneydreamgirls.com. If you want to find us on Facebook, it's Disney Dream Girls. If you want to join our family, it's Disney Dream Girls Podcast Family. You have to answer some joining questions and agree to follow our rules, because we want it to be a close, intimate family where we share our trips and love of Disney.
Yeah.
Everybody's opinions are welcomed, providing they don't break any rules, because we want it to be a friendly place, but a place where people are not afraid to sort of say, well, this wasn't to my expectation.
Yes. Free and open, honest talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twitter and Instagram at DisDreamGirls. You can also catch me on The Avengers. And also, if you want more Disney Dream Girls, visit our Patreon page, and that'll tell you a lot more about how to get 2 or 3 extra shows a month. But until next time, it's a goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from me.